If you've tried diet and exercise but still can't get rid of your saddlebags or love handles, you may want to consider liposuction. Dr. Thomas Kotoske is here today with the very latest. Thanks so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
All right, what is the latest liposuction and how is it performed?
There are so many different types of liposuction that are out there today. We have Vaser, Smart Lipo. We've got multiple different names for different types of liposuctions. Some of them involve the use of a laser. Some of them involve the use of high-pressured water. But the state-of-the-art procedure is called a microtumescent superficial liposuction.
And what does that mean?
What that means is there are very small cannulas. So they're instruments that have a rounded edge, and basically what the way that it's performed is a very small incision is made in the skin, in the area where the fat is, and fluid is placed underneath the skin to basically numb that tissue up and shrink the blood vessels down, and then a very small micro cannula, about the size of the tip of a pen, is utilized to just basically sculpt the fatty tissue away.
And that is the very latest, way to perform liposuction, right? Versus the buzzwords that, we've heard a lot about, like you were saying, the Vaser, the water jet.
Right. There's so many different techniques that if you look at the journals today, and they measure the success rates of these different procedures, lasers have a downside that they do heat the dermis and they can cause problems with wound healing. The water jet creates some irregularities, and all those procedures require, at the end of the day, to do a microtumescent liposuction procedure, which is what we do.
What can we expect if we want liposuction? What, should those results be?
They're very dramatic. They can be life-changing. I mean, there are patients that come through that have areas on their body that they've never been able to address via exercise, and so it's a very good way to take away those types of issues for patients.
All right, really exciting. I know you've been voted by your peers as one of Arizona's top docs. That's really exciting. And we have some of your patients, and we're going to look at the before and after, and you can tell us about each one.
Sure.
All right, what about number one here?
This is a typical patient that comes through that has a lot of fat deposition on the abdomen, in the flank region, which is on the hip region. And via one technique that took me about 45 minutes to do, we were able to sculpt that fatty tissue away and get that type of contour. And that's very typical of the type of response we get with liposuction.
Okay, doesn't stay off. You always hear that with liposuction. Once you take it, it's never coming back.
Well, what happens with liposuction is that we remove fat cells. The fat cells don't come back, but where you have other fat on your body, you do have potential if your diet increases or you eat out of control.
So you still want to be careful.
You do. You need to maintain a good diet and, exercise and keep your body in the closest realm towards your ideal body weight.
Okay, and let me tell you, this woman looks great. Her stomach.
This is a woman that we did liposuction to the back and to the abdomen. We were able to sculpt those areas out. She's literally 3 weeks from the procedure, and
wow.
No bruising, mild, very minimal swelling, and so forth. This patient is one that's very typical that we see, where women will have areas on the hips and inner thighs that just don't get addressed by exercise. And so we're able to sculpt those areas as well via this microtumescent liposuction.
Yeah, the legs don't touch. Good for you. I know that's a goal for a lot of women. All right, and the next patient here, dramatic result also.
Yeah, once again, it's just basically a sculpting procedure to just define the body, the hips, the flanks, the abdomen, the inner thighs, and so forth. So that, a woman like this who's been working out and taking good care of herself, she's just able to really obtain the ultimate result.
Yeah, that looks like a model's body now. And our final one got that pooch gone.
Basically, that's it. It's 2 small incisions. Right. That takes about 20 minutes to do via microtumescent technique.
Yeah, the results look excellent. Thanks so much for coming on the show today and talking about liposuction. For more information, to get more tips for a consultation, just call 623-516-2639 or go to bodybykotoske.com. And don't go away. We have more ways to save coming up on Arizona Midday. This time is how you can get serious cash for your bling.
On the next 12 News Valley Dish, we